Hello there, hello there, hello there, hello there. Welcome back. Welcome back to the Agostinho Zinga Show, and I, your host, Agostinho Zinga. Thank you for tuning in. It's a pleasure, never a chore. It's a pleasure, never ever a chore. For those of you listening in, hopefully you'll be a bit patient with me today. As you can tell, I've got a bit of a sore throat. Please be patient with me. I'm not sure if I can extend myself too loudly. I've also got the air conditioner on in the background. If the air conditioner in the background, whilst you're watching the show live, has any sort of interruptions to the show, and you can't hear the sound of my voice, please let me know, and I'll try my best to turn it off. But if you're listening to the show live, yes, this is how I sound right now. I've got a bit of a sore throat, so please be patient with me. But in an effort of producing the content and putting out the content and not being a PSSY, I'm here. You know, that's a major important thing. I'm here because the last couple of days it was a bit hit or miss. But we're here. We thank God we're here. We thank God we are here. Big up everybody for tuning in. My luck is amazing, right? So I ordered this air conditioner or this fan, this little tower fan that I've got blowing in my direction. I ordered it like a couple of days ago. Well, maybe a couple of weeks ago, sorry. Ordered a couple of weeks ago. Obviously, I wasn't aware that everyone around the country also needed a fan. I live in a country where we don't believe in air conditioning. So no one had a fan, no one had any air conditioner units. So because we had record highs in terms of heat waves, everybody went out to go buy the same thing, an air conditioner unit or a fan. On Amazon, even if you got Prime, the earliest you could receive one was like on the 1st of July, if I'm not mistaken, which I think is tomorrow. The earliest you could receive one when I ordered it 2 weeks ago was the 1st of July. Most of them already sold out. There was a little fucking finesse where you could buy them sometimes on Asda George website, I think, Asda website, and then collect them in store if you wanted to, or you get them delivered straight to your house. But people found out about Asda, and then Asda got sold out. And then I eventually had to buy mine on ebay.com, UK basically, which not bad of a price. I think mine was like 35-40 quid. For a little tower fan, not the best quality. It's the one that most people have, right? In terms of a tower fan, it works for the most part. It's got 3 levels in terms of like cool air. One side makes it like tilt by itself, and then one side keeps it static. And so far, so good. But then, as I've had it on for quite some time now, I've also realized, especially with my sore throat being the way it is, it's not the best thing for a sore throat. I've also realized it kind of makes me have like a weird taste in my mouth, which kind of reminded me, because I haven't worked in an office environment in a long time, but I do remember when I did work in an office environment and they had those like workplace battles between the air conditioners. I remember one of the things I used to suffer from was whenever people get air conditioning, some people just don't respond well. I'm one of those people, like, I can have it on for a bit. Like, I can have air conditioner on for like 10 minutes, then turn it off 10 minutes, you know what I mean? So on and so forth. But I can't have it on the whole day. If I have it on the whole day, sometimes I'll get cold, I'll get sick, I'll develop a fever, like just proper PUSSY movement. So, yeah, it's been a mad, man. It's been mad. So, I got this air conditioner. It's come too late because now this heat wave has passed, right? This crazy heat wave we had is gone. The heat wave is completely gone. There is no crazy heat wave anymore. We're back to normal. And, I kind of spent £40 for nothing. But I guess I still got it. And then now I've got this like crazy sore throat thing where I'll probably have to go to hospital to get it sorted out. Because I looked at my tonsils in the back of my mouth. And I don't know, it's looking a bit mad. I'm not going to lie. I looked at the tonsils in the back of my mouth and it's looking a little bit mad. One of them looks like an egg. One of them looks like an embryo. Not sure what that means, One of my tonsils in the back of my mouth looks like an embryo. I swear to God, it looks like an embryo. That shit was crazy. I was like jigging like head, man. Was that how crazy I was going in the dark room? Was that how crazy I was going in the dark room? Was I going that nuts in the club the other day? Like, this what happens when you just start licking and sucking everything that moves. That's why you shouldn't be that person. Don't be the person that licks and sucks whatever that moves, because you'll develop a crazy fucking tight throat. You have a tonsil that looks like an embryo, and you won't be able to speak how I am now. And I've got this weird, like, you know what I mean? So yeah, all that sucking and licking over the past weekend has definitely landed me in a bit of trouble, it seems like. But you know, thank God we're here. We thank God we are here. We thank God we are here. Yeah, man, let's get straight into the content. Let's just get straight into the content. I've got nothing more to say to you guys. Like I said, last couple of days I've been mad. I've been really, really ill. But yeah, we're getting my immune system back up and running again. I went for a little 10k walk earlier today. I ate a bunch of flipping raspberries, ginger, pineapple. I took some ibuprofen, aspirin. I did everything. I mean, aspirin, lozenges, paracetamol, ginger shots. I just did everything that I could do to help myself. Went for a walk, got some air in my lungs. I mean, did a couple burpees in the park and shit. Tried to do something to raise my heart rate and try and quote unquote sweat it out. Let's see. Can you technically sweat out an STI? Is that possible? Can you outsweat an STI or STD? Is that possible? I don't know. Can you? I don't think you can. I don't think STIs or STDs work that way, especially oral ones. But I'm wondering, is it possible to sweat it out? Because I'm trying. I swear to God, on my life, on King David, I'm trying. On King David, I'm trying to sweat out. I'm trying to sweat out this STI right now. This STD from sucking and licking the other day. Talking about sucking and licking, how Pride is coming up, right? How Pride is coming up. I was thinking to myself, like, there's this. They're gonna do this like open decks thing at Whole Pride for the dark room, and I think I might pull up. Whole Pride. I haven't been in a while, but you know, it's really, really cool queer rave and shit, and they really smash it. But I think I might pull up, right, and they do like an open decks for the dark room. And I was thinking, like, should I make us? Do you play? You don't. If you're DJing in the dark room, you wouldn't play a particular set because everyone in the dark room is naked. You just play a particular set. You just play like a sexy set, like a horny, let's say, set. But you wouldn't actually play a set that's gonna be like, you know what I mean? I was just thinking in my head, because all the DJs I've seen play in like because in Berghain they've got that room, the XXX room, right, where they usually have the like quote unquote more risque stuff is played there. People can kind of let loose, and if you want, you can dance naked and shit and sucking and fucking. But if I do play, or if I get managed, because it's a sign up early and get your name pulled type of thing, if my name gets pulled, I'm better just playing like a really fun, flirty, hot, sexy type of like house set than I am, or like house and disco set, than I am to try and play like something overtly sexual, innit? I think I'm probably doing that, because there is songs that you could play that are going to make you want to take your clothes off, as opposed to, oh, here's what you play when you're naked, you know? I think so. But I'll figure it. I'll get it done. It's just a passing thought in the back of my head. But big up everybody that's going to be celebrating Pride this coming weekend. If I can go, if I can be out there and be an ally, I will. If not, I'll just keep me and my STIs at home. You get me? I'll just keep me and my STDs at home. Talking about STDs. Big up Chris Stussy. I feel like he's getting a lot of love lately. I think he dropped an album recently, if I'm not mistaken. In general, pretty solid DJ, but I feel like lately the timeline has been really riding Chris Stussy's nuts more than ever lately. I've been seeing his name everywhere. The particular clip, I don't know where he was playing at. I think it's probably in America somewhere, because they love him in America, by the way, which must be amazing. If you're a European DJ, considering the amount of clubs they have out there in America, considering what different markets you could go to, you know what I mean? You could be touring that place all year round if you wanted to, right? Small and big venues. It must be pretty good. Plus, everyone speaks English there, like, you know, the whole culture, whatever. It must be sick. If you're a European DJ, being big in America must be slightly sick. I think it's America. If not, he's playing somewhere. As he's playing, absolutely tearing this crowd apart in this open air venue, somebody in the crowd flings a drink into the DJ booth. Which doesn't really happen, by the way. There's not a thing that happens with electronic music. This is why Chris Stussy has like a very angry look. Somewhere in the crowd throws a tin of drink into the DJ booth, but luckily the drink passes Chris Dussy, and somebody behind him in the DJ in like the VIP area grabs it and drinks it, which is pretty cool. But I guess if you're Chris Dussy, he didn't like clap. He didn't really seem too happy about it. He even gave the guy at the back a bit of a dirty look. But yeah, this is not something that you usually see in dance music. It's not like a dance music type of thing. But you know, I wonder if you're Chris Dussy, do you see this as a sign of is this like a display of admiration, respect, or do you see this as disrespectful? Well, that's so low. Hold on 1 second. Why is that so low? Why can't I hear that shit? Bear me 1 second here. Why is that so low? Oh, that's why. That's why. Let's go here. Let's go right up there. Okay, from the beginning. One more time. Don't get me wrong, he did not look happy at all. Chris Dussy did not look happy whatsoever. He didn't look happy about it or whatever. But I don't know, man. I think it's a good. I think if anything, you know, the fact that this has happened so often in dance music, I think is a good thing. It kind of shows you just how different dance music crowds are, especially when you think about the amount of drugs we do, right? The amount of drugs we do when we go to clubs, when we go to festivals, it is quite astonishing that the amount of moments that you are in a club or in a festival and somebody decides to jump onto stage are very, very, you know, they're very small, if not very rare events. The amount of time somebody throws a drink on a stage, very rare. The amount of time somebody throws a drink even in the air when you're in a crowd dancing, very, very rare. Considering how drunk and high people are, you think there'd be way more, what's that thing called? Way more antisocial behavior, like in terms of the DJ performing and shit. Doesn't really happen. It's very rare. It's not that common that someone will get on the stage and try to interrupt the performance. It's not very common that someone will do something like this and chuck a drink on the. I mean, it's not a done thing. So I think we need to give ourselves a pat on the back for our ability to kind of keep ourselves well behaved, although we're all spun out, right? But I also understand Chris Dussy not clapping or getting too hype, because you don't want to encourage that type of behavior. Do you know what I mean? Because if you would have said something or clapped and went crazy, someone else would have done it as well. Do you know what I mean? So I like that he kind of gave a bit of a dirty look and didn't really like acknowledge it. You know, he does want to give people ideas, because next thing you know, there'll be a million drinks flying in his direction. Do you know what I mean? That's the last thing that you want. Or maybe it's what you want though. Maybe that's what you want. Maybe you get Pioneer to make you fucking, what's that thing called? Wet-proof or waterproof fucking covers for CDJs and the mixer. And then you put on a fucking Supreme raincoat on and then get to just chuck it. I mean, that might be kind of smart. By the way, another thing as well, I'm wondering. For his name, Chris Dussy, right? All he wears, I see him wearing, is Supreme. I wonder if that's on purpose. Did he try to reach out to Stussy and they didn't want to sponsor him? Does he just prefer Supreme over Stussy? Because given his name, you'd think getting a collaboration or becoming a brand ambassador, or, you know, for Stussy would be a no-brainer. Why wouldn't Stussy want to put him on fucking lookbooks and shit? He's cool. He releases great music. He's a great DJ. He's young and shit. It's interesting, isn't it? I wonder why. Because whenever I see pictures of Chris Dussy, he's always in the, which I don't blame, by the way. If it's me and I'm Chris Dussy and I'm getting a fucking DJ salary, I'm buying every piece of Supreme, every drop. I'm buying it. You know what I mean? Every fucking drop. I don't care what it is. I'm buying something. I'm buying the whole thing. Just send it to my hotel room. Send it to my hotel room. Send it to my hotel room. I'll pick up later. You know what I mean? So I don't blame him for buying Supreme, because there's probably a lot more stuff that you can wear DJ wise in terms of like loud jerseys and t-shirts and shit. But I'm surprised he's not sponsored by Stussy. I'm surprised he hasn't got any type of like collaboration with them or anything going on. But big up Chris Dussy though, same way. And big up to the guy in the back. Also, big up to the guy in the back who grabbed the drink. If I'm not mistaken, his t-shirt says thick and thirsty too. So I'm not too sure if the guy in the crowd and the guy in the VIP area were friends or something. I'm not too sure. Maybe they were. You know, maybe they were, because maybe this was pre-planned. Because he's got a t-shirt on that says thick and thirsty. You know? That will be a bit of a plan. I'm not too sure. The guy in the booth, by the way, who's got the glasses on, he looks like the fucking manager. Why would all the managers look the same? Why would all the managers in dance music look the same? This kind of rotund, middle, racially ambiguous, Middle Eastern looking guy here. They all look exactly the same. They're all kind of big backed. They've all kind of got that beard. They've all kind of wearing those glasses. They've all kind of got those black t-shirts on. They look exactly the same. They could be Moroccan, Israeli, Algerian. If you told me he was from Afghanistan, I believe you. Egypt, I believe you. But they've got that particular look about them, you know? They've got that particular look about them. But big up Chris Stussy and big up to the man them out there grabbing people. By the way, this is a white people only thing. I don't think you ever see a black person do this. A black person will never just grab some next man's drink that's been flung up in the air and put his lips on it as well, by the way. Especially a tin drink. This is definitely some white people business. This is definitely some white on white crime. This is definitely some white on white crime. Big up them. Big up them. Quickly move on to this one. Big up the BBC. WhatsApp to let people chat by swapping usernames instead of phone numbers. WhatsApp to let people chat by swapping usernames instead of phone numbers. WhatsApp is set to let people chat without having to reveal their phone number by changing unique usernames instead. It is rolling out globally in this platform 3 billion account holders over the next few months. This week, users can start reserving their name via the app, although it won't be compulsory. The firm said people will be able to remove or change their username at any time. Once it's fully activated, WhatsApp users will be able to reconnect by exchanging usernames only. There will still be options to block or report. Names will be limited to 35 characters. There will be a few restrictions with exceptions to high-profile officials. So it's unlikely WhatsApp will be overrun with users calling themselves Donald Trump. The Meta-owned firm described the usernames as a privacy feature. Alex Ruta Rexon, WhatsApp head of product, said she had heard from users that they didn't always want to share phone numbers in order to contact people. She said she hoped the feature would give users great controls how they choose to show up in the app. I like this, by the way. I like this because I'm at a stage in my life where the current number that I have now, I'm probably gonna put that in the bin soon and just have one number that I just keep to myself, or for emergencies only, but only a select few people will have it. I personally just like people have my number in general. Do you know what I mean? I don't like people that I don't know or people that I don't speak to anymore having that such easy access to me. In the past, I was different. In the past, I believed in the whole having the same number since you're in college, all that sort of shit. But forget all that shit. I prefer to just keep moving and changing around. But if you need to get in contact with me, I thought, most of my social media profiles are open. My email address is probably easy to find. You know what I mean? There's ways to get in contact with me. There's no need to have my number. So I've been kind of thinking, especially over the last few months, I don't really need this number, So it might come to a point where I kind of not delete the number, or at least change it to something else. And the people that I want to have the number, I give it to them. The ones I don't have it, sayonara, etc., 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 etc. But I think for most people as well out there who probably, especially if you're a girl, I think this will probably be very handy for girls. Because especially a lot of this content I see online, this type of Riz content, right, with guys talking to girls online, a lot of the exchanges are done via social media. Not a lot of the you see what I see a lot of the girls do when they're getting chatted up to by people wearing Meta glasses is that if they're really interested, they'll say, yeah, you can take my number. But most of the times they'll be like, yeah, I prefer just talking on Instagram, because I guess they want to, they want to maybe get a better look at your profile, snoop around, or just talk somewhere where it's not as intrusive or as intimate. And then if you get, if things build up from there, you can switch over to fucking text and shit. So I understand it from a woman's point of view in terms of safety when it comes to talking to new men or love interests or whatever else it may be. But I think in general too, most of us don't need it, man. I've received a bunch of, I've had quite a few, especially in recent months. I've had quite a few 30-minute plus conversations on WhatsApp and IG audio calls. And most of these people, I don't have their numbers, you know? I've had a few proper, like, I think even one time I had like a quote unquote consultation over Instagram fucking audio calls, work exactly the same way as a mobile number. So nowadays you don't really need to have people's numbers, you know? You don't really need to have people's actual numbers to communicate or to talk. It's not necessary. It's kind of, having someone's number is quite archaic, but I also would prefer to have my number be private and only have it available for people that I actually know in real life, who know when my birthday is, you know what I mean? Who know my middle name, you know, that's like people that you actually know. Like losers or just layabouts or people you just pass by in life, like, you know what I mean? You can DM me, we can talk that way, no problem, but not everyone needs to have your number. I don't believe everyone needs to have your number, and it just limits a lot of like unnecessary like inbound shit, you know what I mean? I just wanna negate any unnecessary inbound nonsense in my life. So I like this feature. So if you haven't already, make sure you go and reserve your username. Make sure you go and reserve your WhatsApp username quickly before the one that you want is gone. Before the one that you want is gone. Get it? Get it? Get it? Yo, talking about WhatsApp, talking about what the fuck is going on. Top Boy actor Michael Ward raped a woman in a car. I caught her. Top Boy actor Michael Ward raped a woman in a car, they said here, courtesy BBC. This was reported when? This was originally reported a couple of years, a year ago? It's like a year ago now, maybe a few months ago. It kind of caught the timeline by shock, off guard, whatever it may be. There were a few people on my timeline who are kind of in the know with celebrity entertainment news, who were kind of like teasing this for a long time, saying somebody that you know, a big time actor, someone a lot of girls like, is in big trouble. This might ruin his career. And then eventually it came out and it was like, oh shit, that's what they were talking about. So it had been quite long rumored, because in the UK, at least anyway, when it comes to these kind of allegations, they do move quite carefully, which I think is a good thing. But you know what I mean? In general, they're not very quick to kind of put people's names out there. You know what I mean? They let it go through the courts. But the only sad thing is that the convictions are not that high. So they are very careful to make sure that the accused isn't unnecessarily, like, you know, dragged through the fucking mire online, but it also doesn't always lead to a good, you know, conclusion if you are the victim. Regardless, it was, you know, this was alleged a long time ago, and since then, if I'm not mistaken, he's gone quite, like, you know, he's gone underground. He's gone very quiet. He's not really said much. I think originally when it came out, he said he's going to defend himself in court, but not much has been said. Then, of course, as soon as the allegations came out, a bunch of people started saying, that allegedly he's known to be a bit of a sex pest or something like that. Which, again, I don't know what that means nowadays, you know? What does being a sex pest mean nowadays? I don't know, you know? What does being a sex pest mean nowadays? Does that mean just like into women's company? Different women's company? I don't know. What does that mean? I don't know what that means, but people coming out saying that, you know, he's out there in the streets, he's for the streets, so they're not surprised. Even some guys, actually, to be fair, even some guys were saying, you know, that's when the whole conversation about sexual discipline, right? Sexual discipline came in. People are like, hey, you're gonna get yourself in trouble if you're a guy and you're out here in the streets still doing this whole, like, you know, bachelor, playboy type of lifestyle. Eventually you're gonna come across somebody that's gonna get you hemmed up, which I think is a bad advice. I think the advice should always be just don't grape, innit? I think it's fairly possible, and it's probably done quite often, to be a playboy guy, to be the guy just, you know, to be the quintessential F-boy, right? That's pretty common. I don't think that's bad, you know? Not necessarily something I would do. It seems very exhausting, or an exhaustive process, but I'm pretty sure it's possible to be a guy that wants to sleep around and you're single and not get these type of allegations. I'm sure there's plenty of women out there that also want to sleep around with you, especially if you're somebody that's a celebrity and you're good looking and shit. So I think the advice of like, oh, just get one lady and settle down is weird advice, because it's almost like you're neutering yourself and you're not really kind of addressing the main point, which is, hey, if someone says no, it's a no. Grape is wrong. Don't do that. You know, that's what the main point should be. But regardless, more details are now coming out, and the BBC is alleging that he allegedly raped a woman in her car. Which is a big deal because, again, in the UK, these sort of like, you know, these sort of charges don't come, you know what I mean? It takes a lot for them to go to court. So if they're bringing it to court, it means most likely they've got a decent amount of evidence. That's a brutal issue that he has with him. So if Michael Ward does think he's innocent, he's got to fight hard in that court because they wouldn't have brought this to court if they didn't think they had a good chance of winning. Anyway, the article. A court has heard that award-winning actor Michael Ward allegedly raped and sexually assaulted a woman shortly after meeting her in a bar in London 2023. Jesus Christ, in 2023, you know? It's like 4 years ago, no? Rathead. The 20-year-old actor, known for his starring roles in Blue Story and Netflix series Top Boy, is accused of carrying out alleged attack in a car. In a police interview played to jurors on the first day of his trial, Crown Magistrate on Monday, the woman said she felt numb and scared during the assault, and adding that she remembered wanting it all to be over. He denies 2 charges of rape and 3 counts of SA, and has said all sexual activity between the pair was consensual. Oh, that's tough. So she's saying it was rape, he's saying it was consensual. So essentially, sexual intercourse did happen between them two. It just depends whose side of the story you believe. Do you believe it was done under duress? Or do you believe it was consensual, but the girl's not having, like, you know, buyer's remorse, let's say? Tough one to argue, that one. Tough one to argue. Tough one, tough one. The alleged victim said she met the actor at a party in nightclub in North East London. Sorry. Jurors said that she was told she knew who Ward was in films and TV and felt flattered that he asked her for a Snapchat. She was asked to accompany him to her friend's Mercedes, where they kissed and woman consented to touching her intimately. The court heard the actor then invited the woman and her friends to an after party. It was in a car near the second party where he claimed the actor raped and essayed the woman. In a police interview, the alleged victim said, "I tried to leave the vehicle and he told me to close the door." After being arrested, Ward, who appeared in court, told police, "I denied the allegations. I want to put on record that we had consensual foreplay and consensual." The Jamaican-born, London-raised actor won BAFTA Rising Star Award in 2020 for playing a drug dealer, Jamie, in crime series Top Boy. But that's the thing as well. I remember, who did I speak to about it? Oh yeah, I remember, like, back in the when I used to go to a lot of afters back in the day. I remember actually, as part of one of my like weird like conversational styles at afters, I remember once, like, I was kind of shocked by the amount of women's hands went up. I was in an after somewhere, I think maybe in Bow, and I went to a room full of girls at this after. I was like, yeah, how many girls here have had like an instance where like a guy has like tried to continue doing something in a sexual way when you've clearly said no? Like, you know, in like to a point where it could get to being a grape on SA, which I guess it technically is already, right? And every woman put their hand up. You know how scary that is. Like, every woman put her hand up in that, and there must have been like 15 girls in that room. I was like, yeah, how many women in here have been in a situation where a guy they're hooking up with a dude, he's trying to take it to third base, you say no, but he pushes like proper, and everyone put their hand up. I was like, yo, I don't know about you, but I didn't grow up like that. I grew up where, like, if you heard a no, you're like, okay, cool. You just, you know what I mean? You like rewound. You stopped your hand. If anything, that kind of led you back to like, okay, cool. Let me go back to the drawing board. Let's get back to the game. Let's get back to the non-touching game. Let's see if I can do it that way, you know? Because that also can work sometimes. Maybe it's like, yeah, you're doing too much. You're being a little bit too forward. Let's start talking, and then maybe you can get there later on. But I didn't know there's guys out there that are like, you know what I mean? Like, nah, you said no, but that means yes. I didn't know those guys out there that are on some Brian Callen timing, like, yay. But then I remember also hearing from that room of girls that quote unquote good looking guys are usually the worst culprits. Allegedly. Because a lot of guys just assume, oh yeah, because you're good looking, you don't need to do that. But usually, from what I've heard anyway, again, I don't know, because I'm not a woman. As much as I'd like to be, I'm not a woman, right? But allegedly, good-looking guys are the worst culprits when it comes to like SA and grape. They're the worst culprits because no one will ever believe that they would do it in the first place, and they can get away with quote-unquote murder in those situations. Which is kind of wild, but it does make a lot of sense. It does make a lot of sense. Either way, solidarity and whatever else goes on to the victim. Hold your head up, whoever you are. Solidarity and strength goes out to the victim, whoever you are. Hold your head up, and let's see how it transpired. But so far, we've got him saying it was consensual, and her saying it wasn't. So let's see how it plays out. Juicy Smollett, man. That's what I have to say. Juicy Smollett. That's all I have to say. Juicy Smollett. That's all I have to say. Jesus Christ, I hate him. Whatever, no one knows wrath like a woman scorned, right? Women are just crazy. We get it. You put him in prison for 10 years, it's fucking nuts on the lie, but whatever. I think a career would flourish. Just let go of that burden. Same with Juicy Smollett. If you just would own up and just say, hey, that attack where I said these MAGA guys, these MAGA guys jumped me during like the dead of winter in Chicago where it gets like negative cold and shit. These MAGA guys in Chicago jumped me, put a noose around my neck, but I held onto my subway, right? I held onto my subway. These white MAGA guys jumped me, but I fought because of the gay 2-pack, and then they end up finding out that the two MAGA white guys were like these two super buff Nigerian brothers, one of which I think Justice Smollett was hooking up with, and the personal trainers. It's like, brother, just admit you lied, and you can move past this. Like, I don't care why he lied. Honestly, I don't care why he lied. Just admit why he lied, because he's actually a decent actor, Not sure about him as a musician, but as an actor, personality, I think he's decent. He's very funny. I personally think so. I think he'd shine on streaming, especially the streaming culture. I think he'd shine in the streaming culture, like as a guest. He'd be great on a stream. But in order to be great on a stream, he needs to like accept that he lied, admit it, and just move past it, bro. Just move past it. But hey, there's Justice Smollett doing what he does best, sounding absolutely awful on stage. And the microphone was definitely on. And just hear his voice. Whose voice is worse right now? Justice Smollett or mine? Whose voice is worse right now? Justice Smollett or mine? One more time. Whose voice is worse? Mine or Justice Smollett's? He loves putting that fist up in the air, innit? He loves putting up that fist, innit? Man loves putting up the fist, fighting for his resistance, right? Man loves throwing up the fist in the air. It's like, brother, you're not that oppressed. I swear to God, you're not. He comes from a really bougie, like, black family in America too. Very well-to-do, connected with like politicians and shit. It's like, come on, man. Big up Juicy Smell. Big up Juicy. Big up Blood Clot Juicy. Big up Blood Clot Juicy. He's also got a new romance. Really? Juicy Smollett and Karamo Brown. Really? I didn't know that. That's pretty cool. PDA, more like public dating announcement. Just Smollett found a new lead. So yeah, I guess he's really into black guys, like black guys. Found a leading man because TMZ learned he's dating Queer Eye star Karamo Brown. The new couple. Oh, didn't this guy also get in trouble recently for lying? What did he lie about again? Was it like cancer or something? I swear, what did he lie about? This Queer Eye for the straight guy. I think he lied about something as well. I'm pretty sure that he lied about something. The new couple stepped out together Los Angeles for the all-day Monday, grabbing lunch at Karamo's mum's, running errands and wrapping things up with a hike through Runyon Canyon, where they weren't shy about showing love and affection. Fair play. Fair fucking play. Fair fucking play. And Robert just reached over and playfully copped his chin. Pull a couple of honeymoon face. Okay. So yeah, he's got new love. Just Smollett has got new love. He's got a band that has got like a jumper that says Rich Uncle. And he's also out here performing on stage. Big up Juicy, man. Big up Juicy, he's winning. Big up Juicy, he's winning. Big up Juicy, he's winning. Also, big up Drewski. Big up Drewski. Drewski absolutely killed it. Drewski absolutely killed it. Drewski absolutely killed it at the BET Awards. BET Awards, Drewski absolutely killed it. As a host, he came through #1 as like a church preacher. He doubled down on that fucking skit, right? He doubled down on that skit as a church preacher. He came flying in on the strings, right? All the way in, which I love too, because a bunch of people there probably are super into the church. Oh my god, my phone. I gotta talk slowly, sorry. A bunch of people there are probably super into the church still, right? BET folks. And he just doubled down on taking the piss out of that. He was wearing an all Gucci suit with Louboutins on, obviously. Talking about spiritually impregnating Tiana Taylor and her laundry and shit. It was fucking brilliant to see. He had a choir in fucking Could Have Been Records gowns on, talking about all the rich people in the audience, Tyler Perry, and saying how much money they should be giving to his congregation. Come on and give your money, give your money. It was fucking hilarious. Honestly, he killed it with that intro. He killed it. Oh yeah, the skit. The trailer. The trailer for the new movie not based on Michael, but based on Joe, Michael Jackson's dad. Right? That was fucking phenomenal. The trailer, do you guys see the trailer? Do you guys see this trailer? Please let me know. Please tell me you've seen this trailer. If you're not seeing the trailer, I'll play it now. The prequel to Michael called Joe, coming to theaters soon. Big up Drewski. This was amazing. This was so good. This was so good. This was so well done.
Every legend starts with a dream.
Get y'all ass up. It's time to dance. Damn it, Tito! How many times I gotta say it's 1-2 step?
The untold story of Joe Jackson.
But we just want to play with the other kids.
You ain't regular kids, man. Jackson 5. Wake up, dance. Go to sleep, dance. Fix your face, man. I'm the top.
5, 6, 7.
Didn't I tell y'all? Practice the steps. It's step, snap, step.
Dad, I thought it was step, clap, snap.
Childhood is nothing without fatherhood.
What are you doing, Joe? You can't keep doing this, Joe.
Somebody gotta teach these boys how to be a man.
I'm tired, Joe. Those boys are tired, Joe.
Well, you can leave.
If I'm leaving, I'm taking my boys with me.
Ain't nobody taking my boys out this house.
A father's love has no limits.
Why can't we go and play with the kids in the park?
Yeah.
Ain't nobody playing with no kids in the park. Michael! Get back here!
Life in the 1960s, where you could get away with just about anything.
How was school, Jackie?
It was good. I finally started passing my classes again.
Jackie got a girlfriend.
Ain't y'all worried about selling records?
Calm down, Joseph. You're scaring the boys.
Talking about hit records. Who done made a hit record in this house? Hit records! Y'all gonna make a new life for me.
I'm tired of dancing.
You want me to take this belt off? Fix your face, Michael, before I fix it for you. The boys are staying!
Those are my boys!
The boys are
Joe.
staying!
My boys!
Follow his rise. Understand his genius.
Get back in here, it's time for rehearsals.
Experience his greatness.
Y'all gonna arrest me for doing my job? Okay, so y'all trying to take old Joe out the house for whooping my boy's ass. It's showtime! Woo! I gave y'all all I got.
Joe.
Joe, can we get ice cream after this?
Coming to theaters this fall.
The bell. Honestly. Oh, I can't laugh. I can't laugh. I can't laugh. I can't laugh. Oh, my throat. My throat. Oh my god. Oh my god. Honestly, please watch the trailer. If you're not watching the show live, if you're not watching the video portion, please watch the video. It's absolutely incredible. Drewski kills it. He killed it. He killed it. And yeah, man, just in general, really funny host. I love the sax, by the way. When Scissor and fucking what's her name, Doichi, were going off script and talking for too long. I love how Drewski had the guy with the sax, right? The guy with the sax, which is the Boys the Hood thing, right? It's a Boys from the Hood. It's Boys from the Hood. There's a legendary sax that plays whenever there's like, you know, a bad moment about to come up, and I guess now in popular culture it's a meme. Like whenever the sax plays, it's like, yeah, your time is up. So, you know, it's just a bit of a troll. And they said in the beginning, if you do it, if you talk too long, we're gonna get the sax to play. So the guy started playing with the sax. And some people took it personally, made it seem like it was a properly like a Drewski's OVO and he hates TDE. It's like, brother, it wasn't personal. It wasn't personal, he's just trying to be funny. But I thought everything of what he done was brilliant. I love the Jay-Z fucking I love the Jay-Z cop. I love the Jay-Z impression. Hopefully you can watch that as well. But I can't play any of it because it's gonna block everything. But the Jay-Z impression was so good as well by Drewski. He killed the Jay-Z impression. What else was good as well? Yeah, he just killed the whole thing. He did a bit of stand-up, walking around the stage, introducing it to other people. I thought was really good as well. He absolutely killed it. He absolutely killed it. I swear, he killed it. He killed it. He killed it. Big up Drewski. Big up Drewski. Yeah, smashed it. Smashed it. Make sure you check out the hosting thing that he done. He killed every single segment of it. Took the piss out of Ray J multiple times. And really did his bit hosting the BET Awards the other day. And that was basically the only notable thing. I didn't watch the rest of it. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't watch the rest of it. Next is this. Big up Extra Emily. Big up Blood Clot Extra Emily. Big up Blood Clot Extra Emily. I feel like I've seen in my lifetime of knowing who Extra Emily is, the live streamer, I feel like I've seen more than 5 clips of her nearly getting into some serious car accidents because she's been paying attention to chat, which is admirable, by the way, because she's a big streamer. She's got what, 5,800 subs, by the way, which is fucking crazy. Big up to her. How much is that money? I need to get that money ASAP. How much is that? 500. Let's see, 499 times 580. How much is that? That must be a lot of money. She's on like $28,000, $28,000 a month, right? On fucking Twitch. Nearly 6 grand subs watching her. Her chat moves super, super fast. But every time I've seen a clip of her in a car, she nearly gets into a pretty crazy accident because she actually pays attention to the chat. But with that being said, it's kind of wild how she consistently gets into these near fatal car crash accidents, but never gets banned. And it's like, bro, how much is it gonna take? Are they gonna have to? She's gonna have to like get into an accident that kills somebody before she gets banned? Or is this just one of those things you have to just be like, you know what, it is what it is. She's a woman, she's driving, it is what it is. I don't know, but big up Extra Emily, man. Big up Extra Emily. Always consistently driving badly.
Lucky bitches. Oh, sorry. Okay, my bad. That was my bad. I gotta check my my oopsies. It's fine. We are making it. Good thing they did their horn. I had autopilot on and then I literally took it off. And then that's when that happened, bro.
Yes, autopilot's fault, man. Autopilot's fault. And again, nearly 30 years old? I think 28, 29 years old. With that voice and that inflection. Bizarre lady. Very, very bizarre lady. And then this post, which I loved. Be Extra Emily. Magna cum laude at Columbia. Financial engineering degree. Real banking job in New York. Fired in 2022. calls it a sign from the universe, goes full time with Twitch, wins $50,000 on a game show, joins OTK, blows up overnight, climbs to top 3 most watched women on the platform, resume now includes eating raw chicken and getting buried in mulch on stream. Mulch stream becomes a global Twitch emote, nearly crashes her car live twice a year apart, last ban lasts 23 hours, 59 minutes. So she gets 24-hour bans at most. Must be good being a woman, innit, on Twitch.
Thank you, chat, for 15,000 subs. I really appreciate it. I never ever thought that I would hit so many subs, so thank you for your support.
Fair play, man. Fair play, fair play, fair play, fair play. And of course here she is, allegedly banned according to Fearbuck. She has been officially banned for that little stunt. For that little driving stunt, she has been officially banned. For that little driving stunt, she's been officially banned. That could have ended really badly, man. Like, she totally wasn't looking. Totally turned without even looking. Like, God almighty. But again, on one side, you give her credit because she's a big streamer, actually checking her chat. But on the other side, you're like, fucking hell, man. Like, you're going to put someone's life in jeopardy because you're paying too much attention to the chat. Like, get your life in order. Get your life in fucking order. Next. You're raging tears while recording his best friend of 25 years after finding out he stole 100,000 grand from him.
Today's the day I found out my best friend of 25 years has been stealing from me. 50 bands minimum, 100. My dog. Would he do anything for this nigga, gang? Shit, crazy. Stop moving, my nigga. When you got locked up, who was there for you? You. When you was homeless, who was there for you? You. Whose house have you been living in for a year, gang?
Yours, bro.
So why the fuck?
You gave me the card, bro. You gave me the card, gang.
And did what? Wait, when did I give you the card? For what? What did I give you the card for?
No, you didn't. I'm wrong. I'm wrong. I'm wrong.
Gang.
You told me.
You stay right there, bro. I don't want you in nothing. You don't what? I don't want to see you again, gang. Ever again in my life. I swear to God. I see you again, and I will. I'm doing you a fucking favor right now, nigga. I don't ever want to see you again, my nigga. Ever. Get the fuck out. Get on. Dead ass. Get on. I don't want to hear nothing.
So, in conclusion, right? In conclusion, really sad if true. It's really sad if, like, you know, your friend of 25 years plus, I'm assuming your age is like in his what? Late 30s probably? No, late 20s, early 30s. So he's known this guy basically since he was a child. Like, they're basically brothers. If you've got a 25-year plus relationship with someone and you're a guy and you're like, what, 28 to 32 years old, that's your brother. That's no longer just your friend. That's your fucking brother. So you've got a really close relationship. So this type of behavior you probably don't expect from somebody that you grew up with. It'd be different if this guy came along lately. Like, if he's like a Johnny come lately guy. If they were friends from before, they kind of lost touch, they reconnected, and then Rage, as being a good guy, was like, you know what, I'm up, I'm doing well for myself, let me bring you into a team and help you out. That's different. But it seems like this guy's always been around. From what I've been doing my research on X, I've seen like there's clips of this guy. He's been a part of your Rage's, you know, inner circle and team for a long time. So it's probably even more surprising because, you know, he's probably on a decent retainer, salary, whatever. So you as a popular streamer, you probably feel like this guy has no reason to betray you because you pay him pretty well. But as I've been told by parents and other people throughout my life, money unfortunately really does change people. Money really does change people for the worst, actually. Money unfortunately does change people for the worst. And this is another good example of it. You know? And when somebody close to you, because I don't know how it is, it must be so difficult to manage your ego, your pride, your sense of entitlement, when somebody next to you, you've grown up with, the same age, you and your parents know each other, you're basically cousins, brothers and shit, becomes like a multi-millionaire. Must be hard to deal with. Must be hard when not to feel, I wouldn't say, maybe entitled in the right way, maybe like jealous or something, and then kind of act on it, right? It must be difficult, which is why I say, I've always said, I think a great way to become successful really is forget trying to be like the next Kai Cenat or your ages. Just be the number 2. Be the Mike Majak. Like that Mike Majak guy with Logan Paul, I know he's a bit of a wally, right? He's a bit of a wally. He makes it easy not to like him. But that Mike Majak guy is like, he knows it. He's got it sorted. He knows to play his role. He's number 2, he's number 3. He plays position well. He doesn't ever try and outshine his master, which is Logan Paul, and to a lesser extent Jake Paul. He plays his position very well. And that Mike Majak guy, for the, you know, again, from what I've been observing from the outside looking in, he looks like a comfortable multimillionaire. He's a comfortable multimillionaire, just helping to advance and to help shine the person that's number 1. Now, I'm wondering, maybe with us people, by us people I mean blacks, is it harder? Is it just fundamentally harder for us blacks to be a lot more loyal, to be a lot more like trustworthy with each other? Maybe it just is. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's growing up in abject poverty. You just can never leave you. I've heard from people that gone back to Africa recently, said the same sort of thing about, you know, you think we have poverty here in the UK, but in Europe, when you go to those type of places, you see people that are really hungry, and they will do just about anything for $1. You know, they'll fuck you up. Like, I think, no, sorry, someone recently came back from Africa. I forgot who it was. Maybe a friend of a friend came back recently, and they basically said to me over DMs, like, they now understand, or they have a lot more sympathy for their relatives who used to steal money from their parents. 'Cause I'm sure some of you guys, if you've grown up in an African household, you've had your parents send money back, right, to your relatives that you don't even know back in Africa. I remember for me, especially growing up in the household that we had, you know, we were always struggling. We were always kind of poor and just, you know, always down to our last couple of dollars. And it used to piss me and my brothers off. It's like, fucking hell, man, we can barely survive here, and you're sending back hundreds of dollars to these people that we don't even fucking know. And then 9 times out of 10, they're saying they're gonna build this house. They're saying they're gonna put this to a farm, or they're gonna put this into a church, or whatever they're gonna do. And then you find out they just scammed you, right? No one's trustworthy. But this guy who I kind of spoke to basically said to me, having been to Africa, he has a lot more sympathy and understanding or empathy for people that steal money or that scam their family and friends because of how tough life is out there, and how like tomorrow isn't guaranteed, you know? Tomorrow's meal, tomorrow's drink, tomorrow's shelter, tomorrow's clothing is not guaranteed. So you have to do whatever it needs necessary to get your, you know what I mean? So I wonder if that's a residual effect that we all have in us, where we're all kind of like scared that it can all go away. And it makes us do dumb things like this because, you know, this is a really dumb move. Your friend is your age. You're the guy behind the scenes. If you keep helping him to be the streamer that he is, you guarantee yourself a career, a lifestyle for what, 20 plus years. You know what I mean? You've got a guaranteed income and lifestyle you can sustain for 20 plus years, because as long as he's up, as long as your age is up, you're up. So it's very short-sighted from a friend, very, very short-sighted to steal or to rob his friend, the popular streamer. But on that token, if I'm your age and my friend does this to me, I'm not doing this to him. You know, as hurtful as it is, as much as a betrayal as it is, and as I've said it plenty of times, I think a friendship breakup is like, you know, relationship breakups are already hard, right? Relationship breakups, divorces, they're already super difficult to try to navigate through. But I think friendship breakups are like 10 times worse. Like breaking up with a friend, like losing an actual friend is way worse than losing a boyfriend or girlfriend, however hurtful that may be. but I wouldn't do this to a friend. I wouldn't have them like stripped this way. I wouldn't have them looking this crazy on my IG, walking around in their ankle socks in my massive garden with a pool. Feels like a tropical. I mean, I wouldn't do all this stuff. This is really embarrassing and demeaning, you know? I wouldn't have my like friend of 25 plus years looking this way. I wouldn't have myself looking this way either. Do you know what I mean? I wouldn't be on IG also crying this way as a man. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do all this stuff. This is a bit too much. This is a bit extra. All this stuff is a bit theatrical, a bit embarrassing, a little bit extra, not necessary. I think when it comes to stuff like this, when it comes to money, as weird as it may sound, as sad as I would be about it and as betrayed as I would feel, I would think to myself like, this guy must be in real trouble because he knows what I would do. Do you know what I mean? Your friend knows you intimately. They know you intimately. So they know how you would react. They know you're going to crash out and go crazy. So if they were willing to run the risk of getting caught to steal from you, it must mean they're really struggling in some way. You don't know how because you paid them well. It's not your concern. But I would also be conscious of that and I wouldn't want to expose them to their family or friends. So I wouldn't post all over social. You know what I mean? I would have posted all over my socials and embarrassed them in front of their friends, their family, had them looking all crazy. Like, I wouldn't do that if that was me. I think I'd handle it behind closed doors, handle it in private, but I wouldn't have my friend looking this way on social media. I think this is a little bit too much, you know? I know he's upset and shit, but this is a little bit too much. So, yeah. I think that's why it just goes to show as well, like, that's what people say, like, if you got friends and you lend them money, especially big amounts of money, just see it as a gift. If they pay you back, it's like a bonus, but don't think they're going to pay you back, you know? If it's a large amount of money, just give it as a gift. So it doesn't affect your friendship, because the weird thing that happens when you loan friends money, especially large amounts, is that they quickly end up resenting you because you've made a lot of money. And they feel like, you know, you're judging them because they needed you to give them that money to survive. So if you quickly just look past it, might make them feel more comfortable to still talk to you. But you can't go around like asking them back for them because it's going to create all sorts of problems. So it's unfortunate, really. But that's the one thing people always talk about. Any rich person talk about the same thing. So let's see how that moves on. Yo. Sorry, I'm not gonna rest. I'm not gonna rest until everybody recognizes just how terrible these Pharrell Williams Louis Vuitton Vans inspired shoes are. I am not going to rest until everybody realizes and notices just how bad these Pharrell designed Louis Vuitton Vans inspired shoes are. Here's a good example. Bring up the People Gallery. The People Gallery did a little interview with ASAP Nas and Skepta. And, you know, I'd like to say that Nas is probably one of the best dressed people out there, right? He dresses quite well. He's also a very skinny, slim guy. He looks generally good in most clothes because of his frame and his build. So the fact that ASAP Nas can't make these things look good, I think it's proof that they're terrible. Because look at how banana, look at how elongated, look at how horrible that toe box looks on ASAP Nas. And this is a guy who's got like probably like what, a 32-inch waist, a 30 waist and shit. Probably is a bit of a medium or a large in shirts, right? Fairly slim guy. Probably, I guess, decent height in terms of a fashion model person. Maybe 5'11", maybe 5'10". So not super short, not super tall. But even he can't make these shoes look right. Look at how weird and long the toe box looks. Just unnecessary. Just awful. So Pharrell just, I think, missed the boat on these, because a real good thing he should have done, probably, if you want to capitalize on the whole Vans hype, is just collaborate with Vans. That would have broken the internet so much. Off the back of the Satoshi Nakamoto Vans and all the other bedazzled ones and the ones that have come out recently, inspired by vintage Chanel handbags and of yesteryears, it would have been so cool to get Pharrell to collaborate with Vans to make, you know, their own Vans inspired whatever shoe with the fucking Louis Vuitton materials, and then maybe have some of the colorways inspired by like the bags that Pharrell's done for Louis Vuitton, or iconic Louis Vuitton bags from the past, whatever, would have worked 10 times better. Or just designing the shoe better, because the one thing I think is missing from it, apart from the eyelets being maybe too much, is that shape of the toe box. That throws it all off. It's like a paddle. It's almost like a what's that creature in the sea? Is it an otter? Yeah, it looks like an otter. Is it an otter? It also looks like, is it like an otter? No, is it an otter? No, which one is it? Yeah, I think it's an otter's tail. Yeah, it's like an otter basically. It's like it's a little bit too flat and clubby. I forgot what creature I'm thinking of. Maybe it's not otter, but I don't like the toe box. I think the toe box is what really fucks up the design of the shoe. You should have really sorted out the toe box. The toe box is awful in my personal opinion, and it throws off completely. But you know, it's too late now. But this is proof to me, at least, if ASAP Nas can't make these shoes look good, they're not good. If ASAP Nas can't make these shoes look good, they are not good.
You see what it is. You see the boys. The gang.
Yeah, it's up in flames.
Damn.
Nah, for sure, it really is. But you know, we're here with the GOAT.
Okay.
Mr. Moodboard himself.
Okay.
I ain't really got nothing to say when the GOAT's around. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
The smoke with me.
So, Tom, let's see what you got. I mean, describe your fit right quick.
Got big smoke with me.
Damn. Oh,
Come on, you see the belt, we check a dummy.
Damn.
LV on the G.
Damn.
Jingle nice.
Everyone LV, baby.
Just look at that toe box, man. Look at that toe box. Look at the shape of that toe box. It just looks so bad, bro. It just looks so bad, that toe box. It looks so unnecessarily bulbous and big and long. Like, just needs to be like shrunk a little bit. Maybe you made it a bit more pointy. But I wonder if they did that again. Maybe the reason why it looks that way is because Vans have like trademark copyrighted the particular shape. You know, maybe that's what they've done. They've said, hey, that shape is ours. Maybe. So they had to kind of like edit it and make it their own. And you know, maybe, I don't know, but whatever it is fucking awful.
Damn.
Skateboard Pete.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Go to Bob. We see Big Smoke. Come on, Smoke. You looking good, man.
I'm just on my you know, my money man team.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying? I'm looking like something from Italy.
Okay.
I'm looking like something from Italy.
Damn. Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
But as I said, when the GOAT's here, you know what I'm saying, Mr. Moodboard himself.
Yeah. Okay.
Nobody try and play like ASAP never showed him the way.
Also, like, are these designed both by Pharrell? These two collections, these two looks, they look so different. They look like they're from two different universes, two different designers, two different timelines. You know, if anything, this one looks like it's done in house. It's not even done by the creator; it's just done by the design team at LV. You know, from the windbreaker to the chinos or whatever he's got onto the boots. Doesn't look like, you know, it's not something that you could design in house. But I guess Pharrell did this too. Maybe this jacket is not too decent, but the Pharrell era Louis Vuitton has been very, it's been very forgettable. That's one thing for sure. You can't remember a lot of iconic pieces from the collection apart from maybe the bags, isn't it? Really, it's been very, very forgettable. But it all doesn't really make sense in a weird way. Like, it's weird these two looks even live in the same universe, belong to the same designer, same brand. So,
Damn. You see that? Yes, sir. What's your favorite Skep song, man?
And the boy better know. My favorite.
Yeah, also big up ASAP Nas and his refusal to get his teeth fixed. Big up ASAP Nas and his refusal to get his teeth fixed. Because in the era of like Turkish teeth, in the era of Colombian teeth, Mexican teeth, whatever, the fact that ASAP Nas is not even bothered about trying to get his teeth fixed, especially because the front one as well, which makes you look like, for whatever reason, the front one doesn't make you look like unless you got cauliflower ears, the front tooth will always make you look like a crackhead, you know? Something about chipping your front tooth that will always make you look like a crackhead. Big up ASAP Nas and his refusal to get his front tooth fixed. That's a real G there.
Skep song.
Yeah.
Skep got too many. That's the problem.
Got too many. Yeah.
Skep got too many bangers, bro.
Yeah.
Can't name them, innit? I love these guys. I love seeing friends. I love seeing friends. They're probably close. They probably DM each other all the time, like each other's pictures. But name your favorite Skepta song. Can't name one except for It Ain't Safe. Right? They're probably very close. They call each other brothers. But if you ask him to name one favorite Skepta song, he probably doesn't know one more than Ain't It Safe. Hilarious.
I'm not gonna lie, that's not me. It's still legendary forever in my book, in my rhyme book, in my book of rhymes.
Scott, what you like about Nas Fitz South?
Also, just as a Nas is probably the most gifted or most talented rapper of ASAP. But by the way, Forever Neck is crazy, right? Forever Greatness Neck is fucking crazy. I just realized that. Skepta's got a tattoo on his neck that says Forever Greatness. Forever Greatness Neck? Hey yo, why for that? Forever Greatness Neck? Hey yo, and why for that? Pause. That is crazy. That is a crazy tattoo.
I think honestly, bro, as a boy better known member, you know we was walking, carry cassette player, fashion shows, doing all that cop rider stuff from before. But these and my brother really bridged the gap. And I want to say on camera, on record, this game wouldn't be what it is right now if it weren't for ASAP.
Thank you so much for your time, guys. Love ASAP, yes sir.
Yeah, man. The shoes look terrible, man. The shoes look terrible. The shoes look terrible. Let's check out the clothes. Louis Vuitton Spring 2027 menswear. The set design was really beautiful, though. I'm not gonna lie. That set design was fucking gorgeous. They had these this like artificial wave thing going on with the beach and shit. Like he went crazy with that. I'm not gonna lie. Pharrell went nuts with that. But the show itself was gorgeous. This set design here. Let me just roll it through so you can see what I'm talking about as the model comes out. Let's take off the music. Look at that. That is fucking crazy. That is so good. Just a shame the clothes are terrible. You know? Set design 10. Clothes themselves, very forgetful. Not that interesting in the slightest. Like, imagine that being the first look that comes out. Double-breasted suit with a vest. What's that sweater jump? Like, what the fuck is that? That's the first look. That's the first look that you bring out. Double-breasted suit. Sweater vest. Double button-up. Leather baseball cap. Deck shoes. Is that what we're doing? That's the first look. Pharrell's stealing a living, man. Pharrell's stealing a living. Imagine if you're some kid in Parsons. Imagine if you're some kid that went to wherever the uni is that Ray Kawakubo went to and Junior Watanabe went to in Tokyo, right? I forgot the name. The big design school out there. Imagine you went to Parsons, Central St. Martin's, UAL, Gold, whatever, big art universities, fashion, to study fashion. And you're seeing this. Now I get it. I think some of the fashion kids can be a little bit annoying, the fashion students, with some of their entitlements and shit, but I understand. Stuff like this, I understand. If you're out and you're thinking to yourself, like, how, like, you know what I mean? Like, this guy's got the biggest job, one of the biggest jobs in fashion, and he's just churning out so much mediocrity, so much like meh, so much like, for lack of a better term, like slop. Because it's not really slop, right? Clearly you can tell like there's a lot of attention going into like the way things are made, and it's more like a menswear collection and less of a men's fashion. You know, if that makes any sense. It's more menswear-y. This sort of stuff I think will probably fit better if like Pharrell was designing his own collection capsule within Louis. If he wasn't just the main designer, if that makes sense. But it's still pretty shit. You know, it's still pretty shit. It's still pretty average. Nothing really stands out. There's not a lot of like pieces you're like, oh my god, I need that. You know. It all kind of looks the same. Like if I put some of this stuff in his first if I put some of this stuff in the first collection, I think it doesn't look out of place. You know, like I don't know what story he's trying to tell. Like what's going on right now? Leather M65 with the leather shorts. Like I don't know. Now we've got surfboards all of a sudden. Huh? Now we've got surfboards. Now we've got camp cats. Now we've got bomber. I don't know. That bag shape hasn't changed, by the way. They're just gonna drum. That bag has been the one hit, so they're gonna fucking beat that bag into the ground, bro. They're gonna beat that keeple into the. You're gonna have keeple every day. Result full spring. Result full spring. Full result spring. You're gonna have keeple. Yo. This stuff is so awful. It's so shit. It's so average. Like, I don't get it. I really don't get it. And it's a real shame because I feel like Pharrell can do way better, man. But for every reason, he's just giving us this nonsense. Maybe it's just too much as well. Maybe that's a problem. Maybe if he was restricted to like, I don't know, 30 looks, you know? 25 pieces. Maybe we'll get better stuff, but the set design is beautiful. Then when the clothes come out, you're like, God almighty, the average, isn't it? The set design is fucking gorgeous. Amazing set design, super immersive. You know what I mean? Transports you to a whole nother world. But the collection itself, yeah, very forgettable. Super duper forgettable. Super duper forgettable. Let's check out some of the steals on Vogue.com. Again, I don't know what to say really. Not much really to say about anything here that I might have liked. Everything's a bit terrible. I don't know. Look 13 doesn't look that bad here. I ain't mad at look 13 here. Not mad at that. I also don't mind this jacket here on look number 17. Again, that jacket here on look number 19, I feel like it's already been done a million times with the covered in different badges and shit. I feel like that's been done a million times with buttons and beer caps or beer bottle caps like what Martin Rose done over the years, or beer mats, or beer mats, right? I think a brand done that collaborated with them too did something like that recently. So yeah, you know, look at that. Look at this. Look number 26. Look how awful that is. Those striped pants and that. It's just so bad. Leather M65s worn with leather shorts. Burn it all in a fire, man. Burn it all in a fucking fire. What the fuck is that? Look number 32. What is that jacket there? What is that? Is that like a vest? That's a vest with like high pockets, I guess. An anorak. It's like striped, shadow plaid with like a zip and buttons. Like, I don't know. There's random surfboards everywhere. No, this kind of reminds me of a little bit. It reminds me of like a Miri. This reminds me a lot of a Miri. This reminds me a lot of like some of a Miri shit, or like some Palm Angel shit. This is what it looks like. It's giving me Palm Angels. It's giving me what's that other brand? 33 Paradise or Predis, however you pronounce that name. But yeah, it's giving me a certain type of person I'm buying this shit. But again, I'd rather wear Palm Angels than wear this shit. On God, if I'm that type of guy, I'd rather wear Palm Angels or a Miri than wear this. I'd rather wear who's my guy? The guy with the cigarette box brand. What's his fucking name? I'd rather wear his brand than this. You know? Some of the stuff is so bad. Actually, look number 66 I'm not too mad at. Look number 66 I'm not too mad at that one there. Maybe even look number 65. Take out the vest again. Like, if you're gonna, I don't know much about styling, but I think if you're gonna send out looks, probably best not to send out two back-to-back looks with the same vest. You don't know? I don't know much about styling, but if you're gonna send out looks, probably if you're gonna send out one look, you're probably gonna have to pick who's gonna get the vest and let the other guy just come out in a t-shirt. But you know, what do I know? The color of that overcoat isn't too shabby. I quite like that. I like champagne Chardonnay red color. That Shiraz, I'm not too mad at that. That blood red color on that coat isn't too shabby. This jacket here as well, look number 71, not too shabby. Look, so there's surfboards, right? And then randomly there's a guy wearing a wetsuit with a track bike. Please tell me how that makes sense. There's a guy randomly wearing a camp cap and a Louis Vuitton wetsuit with a fucking road bike on his shoulder. Why does that make sense? Someone please tell me. So he went to surf, but then what? So he went to surf, but he brought his... Okay, cool. Whatever, man. Whatever. I don't even answer any more questions. But yeah, Pharrell's awful, man. Pharrell's awful. What's the blurb saying about it? What's the blurb from Vogue.com saying? I'm sure they're going to be glazing. The set was amazing. Maybe a 10-meter high wall of water split into two. Its movement pushed an ozone-tinged breeze down a show-shaped floor. in sand and benched in weathered wood. Kareem Roitfeld, the coolest, went barefoot. Although surrounded by walls, we were in the open air. The show ran late because Future had not arrived. A chatter of parakeets flew overhead. Even after 9:30, it was hot enough to seem surreal. This almost Lagerfeldian set was shaped to express the theme of this Louis Vuitton menswear collection. The models emerged from the tube. Each look shot from the barrel as a self-inflicted expression of Pharrell'S Williams' overarching aesthetic. Speaking pre-show, he said, "It's all dandy." Dandy. This guy's dandy. He's just like, oh, shut up. It's all dandy. It's all fucking shit and retarded, mate. Get fucked. It's all dandy. You mean it's all fucking caca? That's what it is. It's all cackery. It's all doo-dooey. It's all dandy. This guy's dandy. He just likes surfing too. That surfing element served to soften the previously much more structured definition of Williams' tailoring silhouette. It also gave the Louis Vuitton menswear studio license to apply some wonderfully weathering treatments to surfaces to build some embellishments that carried real visual depth. Yes, there were surfboards from thrusters to longboards and wetsuits. The wetsuits had been made by a specialist company in south of France and featured a... By the way, I just realized, right? If they're all coming out of the tube, why aren't their hairs wet? If they're all coming out of a tube, why aren't their hairs more wet? Why aren't the hats covered in water? I mean, like, do something with the hair and makeup to make it look like they just come. I mean, I don't do something, bro. Just doesn't make any. None of it makes sense. They've all come out of the fucking tube. None of them have got like a look of like exhilaration, of like happiness and hype. They're not covered in like, you know, moisture or something. They're not sweating. They're not wet. Nothing. They're just like standard hair and makeup. My nigga came out of the tube with a hoodie on. Okay, whatever. The most amazing to hold, established during the preview, were the marshmallow effect bags lined with memory foam and broad new range of monogram pieces that clad in a silkily light yet sturdily robust fabric, silk tech, that materially changed the look of the houses, uses usual leather and canvas classics. A choppy wave of similar Caroline beading edged the hem and sleeves of the deep blue Pacha laid over a leather workwear shirt and washed leather 5-pocket pants, also blue. The look was topped with a stenciled logo on fade cap, one of many strong caps, in a washed out mozzie green. The classic M65 jacket was presented in leather, cord colored denim, but flipped so that its chest pockets opened to the side, allowing the wearer to effect a kangaroo tuck. Ingenious. One pocket was built from no fewer than 480 stitched together LV patches, then washed to achieve the salt smacked effect the studio tried to apply across the... fuck off. Almost as a response to this one piece, much of the denim featured darker areas of fabric as the patches were sewn had been removed. Above the crush of the water, this collection slightly jangled. Surfboard chains, crab claw chains, charms, rock earrings, cactus keychains, flat. But again, all this stuff sounds probably the best. All this stuff sounds the best. These little mini accessories, because that's what he does the best, I think. These little mini accoutrements and accessories is what he does best. All part of the densely assembled curation of small accessories. There was a great shell Minandua or Minandia. What is a Minandua? What is that? Minandua is a small, rigid evening bag or vanity case that serves as an ornamental jewelry. Okay, the one that opens up and it's got like a little makeup. It's got a little mirror and shit. Okay, cool. Good place to store a baggie as well. The CMOS crocked hooded blouson was worn with a black board shorts, tube socks, and sneakers, turning exotic shine into a surf-ready shell. A light taupe mink sweater coat worn with a A-line shorts and lasered camp cap was obviously luxuriously to the touch and apparently beach worn to the eye. Perhaps the most overtly summary proposition was an embellished cashmere cardigan with palm trees, worn with yellow two-tone pinstriped pleat stripes, trousers, and accessorized by a quote sea leopard surfboard whose patterns was based on a macro photos of shells. This look also seemed appealing and scuffed. Quote, "I'd really do it with love," Williams said. You do it with fucking dude in your eyes, bro. You do it with dude in your eyes. You do it with dude in your eyes. You're stealing a living. The quicker you're fired, the better. I'm not gonna lie. I hate to see a black man lose his job, but the quicker this man loses his job, the better. Because this stuff is just so bad. Look at this guy's face. Look at my man's face. My man's face is how I was looking at the whole collection. Honestly, look at his face. Look how bummed out he is. Like, what the fuck is this? We're out here wearing fucking button-up shirts under fucking oversized cardigans in big 2026. Is that what we're doing? Is that what we're doing? Miss me with that shit. Miss me with that shit. Miss me with that shit. Next. Is this the biggest recession indicator ever? Is this the biggest recession indicator ever? Chrome Hearts closes its iconic Osaka location after 25 years. Chrome Hearts has closed when its original Osaka locations opened in 2021 after 25 years. And if you know anything about Chrome Hearts, you know they're super huge in Japan. Japanese people love Chrome Hearts. Obviously, they've got their own stuff out there like Goros and shit. But Chrome Heart still does very, very well out there, especially with it being family owned, with it being fairly limited, blah, 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 blah. The fact that they're closing means business isn't too good over there, even in a place like Japan, where it's nothing but, you know, heads like myself and others with deep, deep pockets. This is some of the images of the store itself. Beautiful store on the inside as well, as you can see here. Opened in Osaka, Japan. Chrome Heart store is closed down after 25 years. Someone in the comments, Osaka exclusive items skyrocketed in price. Yeah, so I wonder what happened. Is that a recession indicator? Or is that just the way the market is going? Is that a recession indicator? Or that the market is going? I think for me, a recession indicator that even some of the bigger brands who probably can afford to take some hits are not taking them. They don't need to. And they're kind of, what's that thing called? They're consolidating themselves and they're focusing on the places that are making the most money. I think I read a report recently. I'm not sure if this is true. But I read a report recently that said JD Sports is thinking of closing a lot of stores. I'm not sure if that was only in America or if that's in the UK. But allegedly JD Sports is thinking of closing a lot of stores because most of their business comes from online anyway. So they're just going to focus entirely online, which was kind of wild because, especially in London at least anyway, JD Sports has crazy amount of stores around London in really great kind of like retail locations with great foot traffic. They're usually, I won't say always busy, but you know, again, good foot traffic. So it's interesting to see if they're going to close it. But again, goes to show that businesses, owners are just being very cutthroat and be like, you know what? Let's focus on where we're making most of our money and just double, triple, quadruple down on that and let everything else fall by the wayside. Forget everything else. Let's just focus entirely on the places where we're making the most money. So, you know, you kind of have to rate it. You kind of have to rate it. You kind of have to rate it. Cool. Let's move on. Big up Solomun. Solomun played at Pacha the other day. It looked absolutely incredible. I can't wait to check it out myself. This is a review from somebody on the old Reddit. Big up the person on Reddit. It says Pacha Solomun tonight. What a banger night. And by the way, I'm also loving that everybody from what I've heard so far is saying that the Pacha NY venue is very bare bones. Right? There's no crazy bells or whistles, but it works, it functions. The staff are proper nice, organization is on point, and they don't oversell events. Loads of room to dance, you know what I mean? Everything else, nothing, all the other stuff is whatever. Because obviously, the other club was meant to open there, had a lot of bells and whistles. That was part of the reason why a lot of us were probably hyped about, especially if you live in New York, about what they're proposing in there, like, you know, ideas what they were going to do when they were going to eventually build it. It didn't eventually get built up. But what Pacha NY have done since taking over the space is that they've given them a space that works, that functions, without any crazy bells or whistles, but does exactly says in the tin. So big up them for making that work. The post says, by the way, I also love this screen. I love this screen. I love this screen. I love this screen. I love this like super wide. Not sure how tall it is, but super wide. You know, basically like, you know, width to width kind of like screen that curves behind the DJ, where you can have like graphics set up and shit, or you can have a camera that'll just relay the image of the DJ playing on that massive screen. So wherever you are in the crowd, you can quote unquote still see the DJ, which I think is a cool little trick, a cool little feature. What a banger night, this person says. And also the new management did a really good job managing the crowd. I mean, they even got shuttles to drop you till subway post event was over. Wow. Really excited to see what Pacha does this summer. To people who visited today and before this is reopening, how was it for you? Someone says here, Def the old Mirage crowd had some weirdos there last night, but management between old and new is night and day. Bathrooms are warp speed and super clean, marble floors, drink lines move fast, and any of the free one-liners or outer bars were equally near the dance floor. Too much yapping, had literally this amazing time. Was my first time, very pleasantly surprised. Went through GA and VIP sections and really noticed how clean and smooth everything was. Great review. Did anyone else get a table or dancing VIP, considering whether it's worth spending extra money? Got dancing VIP and personally loved it. Caveat, I'm in my mid late 30s, not big into screens or lasers after years. The section was landing strip between the tables and GA. Turn left if you're facing the stage from the GA. Obviously crowded the closer you got, but never felt sardined with people. Separate couch, separate bathrooms. You can easily get in and out. How were drinks priced? I spent $110. Ooh, this is not good. Yo, going out in New York is crazy. I spent $110 on 2 drinks and $35 on sushi. The prices were quite steep. So the organization is great, but the bar prices are not cheap. $25 for a single shot of Grey Goose vodka. God damn it. $50 for a double vodka and Red Bull. Is that normal in New York? A New York nightclub. $50 for a double vodka and Red Bull. God almighty. How's the sound? 11 out of 10. Okay. So let me check out. Let's actually go to, let's do Pacha NY, Solomun, TikTok. That's what people are saying. Solomun, Pacha NY. Let's see what the videos are saying actually. Solomun breaking his one and only IB for Raw after 14 years to play Pacha NYC's opening night. And as well, you have to remember, this was a free rave too, by the way. You have to remember, this was a free rave to make up for the other rave that he played where it was rained out and he felt bad and blah, 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 blah. Honestly, big up Solomun, man. What a good dude.
Too damn fine, yeah, I know I'm dead. 2026 and the girls run this. 2026 and the girls run this.
Yeah, big up Solomun, big up Solomun. Yeah, might go Pacha, bro. Need to go Pacha this year somehow. Might have to move over to New York somehow this year. It looks fucking like a vibe, not gonna lie.
I move like this. Gold chain swing when I kiss. Too damn fine on this.
True. Come on, Big Solomun. Actually, a little review. Somebody posted, where is it? There's actually a little review here. Courtesy of New Yorker. Big other review. At Pacha, New York, an infamous nightclub is reborn. After Brooklyn Mirage, a popular but troubled music venue, was torn down, and a glitzy beef institution took its place. Yeah. Last month, a businessman named Kabir Mulchadani appeared in front of the New York State Liquor Authority's license seeking permission to sell alcohol at an open-air Brooklyn nightclub after his company had recently taken over. There's a lot to consider. Residents had written in concerns about safety and noise. The community board had voted 22 to 14 with one abstention against approving the venue's application. In its previous incarnation, a nightclub, the biggest of the handful of venues situated in the industrial zone near the edge of East Williamsburg, was known as the Brooklyn Mirage. Its reputation was not uniformly good. 3 people died of drug overdoses. I don't know that, rotted. 3 people died of drug overdoses after attending events there. In recent years, the number of dead bodies were retrieved from the nearby Newton Creek. In 2025, the Mirage announced a new renovation, but it failed to get approval from the city's Department of Buildings and was demolished earlier this year. A private equity firm took control of the site and made an agreement with Mulchadani, the head of the Dubai-based company that owns Pacha, a venerable and glamorous nightclub on the Mediterranean resort island of Ibiza. With Mulchadani's company as the operator, the Brooklyn club was being reinvented as Pacha, New York. Some people playing there. Was it as Prosper and Rampa the other day? By the way, Unfounded Rich. This is where I expect Unfounded Rich to be won. I'm not gonna lie. I expect someone looks at this is where Unfounded Rich. I expect someone looks at this where Unfounded Rich. Some nice little pictures there from the car. People with vapes, loads of fake boobs. A lot of enhancements on the hairlines, sharp beards, nice shirts, sunglasses everywhere. Chins moving. I love it. Lily Fan, the chair of the SLA, seemed to understand the significance of the place and to be impressed by the improvements that Mulchadani promised: tighter security, a less noisy sound system, shuttle buses to bring patrons to subway stations, and even a new cell tower nearby. so that when the club closed at 4 a.m., revelers could not find themselves wandering on neighborhood in search of a signal. She initiated that the SLA would approve application of Pacha New York so long as the club promised to eschew the M word in all this promotional. No mirage mentioned anywhere, please. That's good. All the stuff is good, by the way. I'm not opposed, because sometimes when council people get involved and start pushing back and giving you things you need to kind of do, right, in terms of like non-negotiables, if you want the club to open, it's a bit dumb, it's a bit out of the ordinary. But these ones are really fine. Tighter security, less noisy sound system, which I guess doesn't mean it being noisy, it just means don't let the noise pollute everyone else's space, which is fine. Shuttle buses, I think, is a really good idea. There's a club in London actually called Egg, innit? It wasn't much, but it did help. There was a club in London called Egg. I'm not sure if they still do it, but this club Egg is in King's Cross, and it's like down a side street. And what they did is that they usually have like a free shuttle bus that runs from the King's Cross station all the way up to the front of the club. So if you're a bit scared about walking down that side street by yourself, the bus will just go up and down, you know? And yeah, I used to jump on it all the time. So those shuttle buses, they seem a little bit, you know, performative, whatever, but they do help. Make a big difference. And also, as a club, you also get rid of people from in front of the club, you know? You don't have them loitering around, because, you know, when people loiter, spend too much time outdoors, they're going to get into some unnecessary behavior. There was a time when New York City was a nightclub capital of the world. In the 1970s, the city was the cradle of disco and the home of the wide range of influential dance parties like the Loft, a downtown institution, and helped to invent the underground dance club. Studio 54, R.I.P. Andy Warhol, and a short-lived tabloid sensation helped create the idea of a nightclub as a celebrity stage. By the way, I still don't know, is that actually true that the Studio 54 actually invented the velvet rope? I remember reading that once. That Studio 54 actually invented the velvet rope. They showed the tabloid. Bianca Jagger was memorably photographed there astride a white horse. But in decades that followed, other cities have caught up, surpassed New York. One of them was Ibiza, where clubs like Pacha showed vacationing Europeans how to rave all night. In New York, nightclubs were sometimes regarded as a civic nuisance. One obstacle was the city's cabaret law from 1926, which required bars to obtain special permits if patrons were dancing, and not fully repealed until 2017. The unmentionable predecessor of Pacha was a rather whimsical castle-like structure with a balcony from which the skyline of the fairway where borough was visible. Manhattan, for about a decade, beginning of 2005, Pacha operated a different club there, the Hell's Kitchen. The new club is simpler, more functional, with legal capacity of 5,300 patrons. Is that it? Okay, 5,300. Huh. Seems like way more. They'll do a good job of making it so a little bit bigger than what it is. Maltradani testified that though the previous operators had routinely exceeded capacity, he would not. Love that. The dance floor is an expanse of the blacktop, surrounded by black shipping containers that serve as the bars, and wide stage as a DJ booth in the middle, flanked by VIP areas backed by an enormous video screen. On Saturday, June 13th, which is opening night, the VIPs included rappers like Travis Scott, Quavo, as well as Maltradani himself, wearing a black t-shirt that said Brooklyn with the O's rendered as a pair of red cherries. People sometimes use the term electronic dance music to refer to the wide range of club-oriented genres, but Pacha concentrates more narrowly on house music, which emerged from Chicago nightclubs in the 1980s and now occupies a more traditionalist end of dance music spectrum. For opening weekend, the club hired Rampa, a popular producer and DJ from the fertile Berlin club scene, who excels to fold in the sounds of Afro pop into warm, rippling house tracks, one way to put it. Because he was inaugurating a New York venue, Rampa put together a lineup stocked with local favorites, including Danny Tengalia, who built a reputation over the 1990s with a marathon session at Twilio in Chelsea. Such an honor to be here at grand opening, Tengalia said. I hope you're enjoying the game, but I hope you're enjoying the music more. The screen behind him was showing a certain local basketball team which was in the process of ending more than half a century of frustration. Tengalia played a bit of New York before bringing in Doo Doo Dum, a cattle ring house track that turned the watch party back into a dance party. Look at the people, I love that. By the time Rampa arrived on decks, hit before 1 p.m. crowd was congealing into a congenial blur. A serious dancers with their eyes closed, celebratory guys in basketball jerseys, swaying couples, groups of friends interested more in one another than in a guy in a booth. He had brought with him Prosper, an English duo known for their series of club hits that evoked the hedonistic spirit of the 90s house music. Everyone knew that Rampo would eventually say, what a 24 hit helped produce, which was joyful bassline and refrain that equally indecipherable to the dancers. People raised their hands and sang along, but only for a few minutes. Rampo told me that he tries to make sure his DJ sets don't devolve into concerts. He wants people to feel as if they're at a party, not a performance. Interesting. Does Rampo even have that issue to begin with? Rampo thinks he has an issue where his performance is going to be more of a performance and not a party. Huh. I guess because is it because everyone's standing there recording him? Is it because of the pace of the music? No. Interesting that he feels that way. Okay, interesting. I would never think that. I never think that anyone would think. If anything, he's probably the one that does make more of a party vibe, him and Rampo. Huh, okay. If anything, the most performance one is probably Adam Paul of the 5, you'd think, or not of the 3 people in fucking kind of music. Anyway, this is not all easy to do, especially for anyone with rap who appears as Rampart often does on lists for the world's most popular DJs. He told me that he had fond memories of this time in Berlin's underground scene, playing gigs in cramped venues where he often risked of being shot. Yeah, everyone always does this, man. They always look back and wonder at how good it was when they were playing in shitty venues, but they never want to go back to that time, you know? Because he probably gets paid, you know what I mean? Many thousands for playing these nice big sets, but you're not going to play again for like drink tokens or like bags of drugs, or do you know what I mean? Or like €100. So yeah, I do find that funny. Everyone loves to reminisce on the old times, but don't want to get paid like the old times, do you? It continues, there was no permissions and licenses, so it was very pure and honest, he said. He knows though that the outlaw approach tends to lose its charm as the crowds grow and the likelihood of disaster increases. On the dance floor, as elsewhere, people tend to want to feel both free and safe. In that sense, every nightclub is a compromise, and part of the job of the DJ is to help people forget that. At the scrappier venue, there might be someone at the door deciding who will contribute a great night, or deciding who will or won't contribute to a great night. But at a big corporate club like Pacha, anyone with money can buy a ticket. In that sense, at least, Pacha is more inclusive than some of its smaller competitors. Prices for shows this summer range from $45 for general admission to hundreds of dollars for or more. Oh yeah, and there's also a list actually. I think I saw a list on here. Let me quickly show you guys in case you care. There's actually a list someone put together that shows all of the up and coming Pacha events. Let's see if I can find it. I think I might have it somewhere here. Someone shared it. It's quite accurate. It's pretty spot on, I'm not gonna lie. Is it on here or is it on my, maybe it's on my Twitter actually. Oh no, I think it's on my Twitter. Let's double check it. I'm pretty sure I saw a list of all these events somebody put together. I was like, and it's actually on point. It was published a while, yeah, there we go. It was published in April and it's looking really on point so far. So far everything's panned out. This was published in April by this person called Fact Styler. So far you got everything played out as it should. Solomun, Michael B, Black Coffee, Masters at Work is already gone, right? This past weekend. Vintage Culture's coming up. Mayan Warrior, Black Coffee again. Another's playing there again in July. James Murphy is playing there again, big up him. Elro, Basement Jacks, Charlotte DeWitt, Seth Troxler, Gordo, Black Coffee. Black Coffee's playing there bare times, isn't it? There's a James Summit Weekender. Who else is on there? James Son Summit, K-Tronada. Oh, that's gonna be live. K-Tronada's gonna be live in where? October. 8th of October, K-Tronada, Jamie Jones on that same weekend. Oof. That's gonna be hype. And then you got Pete Tone, Boudin, Music On, Black Coffee, Calvin Harris. Yeah, really good lineup so far. Really fucking good lineups. As you can see there, some pictures of people in the club having fun. Looks like a vibe. For Sunday opening weekend at Rampart planned a kind of New York carnival. He put a skate ramp in one of the warehouses like buildings on the property and organized an appearance by 2 members of Wu-Tang Clan. Around 10 o'clock, the local DJ Kitty Cash played one of the weekend's best sets. I don't know about that one, because everything I read, everyone hated it, but hey, who knows. It began to rain softly at first. This rain ain't stopping the shit, y'all, she said, as employees directed a portable tent above the DJ booth and distributed ponchos to the audience, but the rain grew heavier and soon accompanied by thunder and lightning, which meant that the party was officially clandestinely over. Rampa later announced that he was waiving his Sunday fee, and Pacha offered attendees a choice between a refund or free admission to a makeup party. Some people headed for the exits, while others piled into a room for the half-hour where Rampa played a couple of tracks, briefly turning the rained out club into one of the old-fashioned warehouse party. At least some of us seemed to enjoy it. On TikTok, one of them mentioned felt like an OG rave. So yeah, people had fun, man. People had fun. And I think the other one I want to check out as well is Michael Bibi. Let's see what Michael Bibi did at Pacha. Michael Bibi at Pacha NYC. Let's see. I'm curious to see what that sounded like. Big up Michael Bibi. What did that sound like? Michael Bibi, Pacha NYC, right? There. Big up Seb. Michael Bibi played my new release Work It the past weekend. Big up Seb Music. Wow. tune. This one's powerful. Shufflers. Think I'm hard, didn't have enough. Think I'm hard, but yeah, big up Michael Bibi, man. Like a vibe. Big up Michael Bibi, sounded like an absolute vibe he had there. And I think there's another one too, right? What was it? I think I saw another review. But yeah, that was it. Watched Solomun, Michael Bibi and Black Coffee headline. So we saw that one already. We saw Solomun's one already. We saw Michael Bibi's one already, I think, as well. Both of them. We saw that one already, and then there's one for Black Coffee, isn't it? I think that's gone already. I think the Black Coffee one's already gone for some. I don't know what's happened here. Can we look view on here? The Black Coffee. Look at that view. Look at that view. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Yeah, big up Black Coffee. Black Coffee. Oh, nice Bad Bunny remix. Love it. Big up Black Coffee, man. Big up Black Coffee. Big up Pacha. What a vibe. What a vibe. What a vibe. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to leave it there for now. Thank you for tuning in. Excellent Ticket Show episode number 1058. It's been a pleasure of your company. And I'll see you guys on the other side. Thank you. Cheers. Bye.